Okay, part 2 of my July 2015 Orchid tour. Sorry, I'm wobbling my hand. This is the division of a Sherry Baby I liberated from the orchid I got from my mom. I took 3 pseudobulbs. There were like 11 there, and this one is getting some new roots, which is nice. Then we've got my pink no ID Phalaenopsis. It is getting this lovely leaf. It's growing in nice and shiny and healthy. I'm really happy, and eventually in a year or two I can cut this leaf off. Sunburned leaf. Awful. It's settled into its pot. As you can see, I pulled it up by the neck of the plant basically. But I think all my phals are kind of dormant, but it's settled in a lot of roots in the pot, which is a good sign. Next we have this beast, which I got in the auction for 20 bucks. Hell yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so there's that. We've got my 2 rescue Phalaenopsis orchids. This is the second orchid I ever bought, and this was given to me as a rescue. Now this one is not doing so well. Something is wrong with it. The leaf is all yellow around the edges, which didn't happen before, and this leaf kind of stopped growing big, so I don't know what's wrong with it. The flowers aren't that nice, so I might just toss it. But this rescue that I got from my friend only had 1, 2, 3 leaves when I got it, and they were getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which indicates worse and worse health. Well, guess what? Since I've gotten it, it grew 1, 2, 3 leaves that are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Especially this leaf is as big as this healthy one down here, so I know I've restored it basically to full health, which is exciting. Now I just have to see what the blooms look like. I really hope they're not disappointing, but I will just be happy to see it bloom. Next we've got my Paphiopedilum Maudier hybrid. It's got this new baby growth that's getting pretty big, and this growth is kind of starting to open up. No sign of a bloom yet. This is my Sick Miltassia Charles M. Fitch Izumi. It had all these messed up leaf markings, so I just cut all those leaves off because they were bothering me. I don't know if that's good advice or not, but it was freaking me out to see that. But it does have a new pseudobulb, and it's gotten pretty big recently, so that's good news. And it seems to be putting some roots down the pot. Any white ones you see are pretty new, so that's good. Next we have Dracula Lotax, who doesn't like to do anything, so no updates there. And now let's get to, let's get to Dendrobium antenatum. So first I thought Dendrobium antenatum was sick with a virus. Then I thought maybe it has a bacterial infection because it's dropping leaves so quickly. And finally I think maybe it's just losing leaves due to the heat and the dry weather. I don't know. Let's bring this closer. You can see the leaves kind of are mottled when they're shedding, which concerns me a lot, but I've just kind of separated this from the rest of my orchids and I'm leaving it alone. This new growth has some issues. I don't have the willpower to throw it away just yet. So, and the blooms are still really healthy, which makes me wonder, is the plant sick at all, or does it just not like the heat? I don't know. Okay, next let's get to this mounting station. Yeah! We have my weird log experiment. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this, but whatever. This is the Maxillaria tenuifolia, and it's putting down some new roots and some new growth. There's a new little bulb there, so I guess it's doing okay, but these kind of grow like weeds. To compare, we have this other Maxillaria tenuifolia, and it's throwing down some new roots. It's got a new growth there. I don't know how to tell if it's a flower or what, but it's something. We've got a new growth here. We've got new roots coming down here and a new growth. So it's doing pretty well in the situation I've given it. And I've read all conditions for Maxillaria tenuifolia. You put it in moss, you don't put it in moss. You water it every day, you don't. So I don't think it's a picky orchid. All right. Next we've got seedling update. This is the Encyclia cochleata variety Alba. Nothing. This is Cattleya forbesii, and it has this big fat new root with that amazing growth tip. That's like a centimeter growth tip. That's awesome. So it's doing well. It had too much light when I first got it, but these leaves seem to be darkening just a tiny bit. We've got, I forget the name, but this is some kind of Cattleya hybrid. You can see in my eBay haul video what it's called. I didn't put a tag with it because I'm lazy. So nothing there. Next we have another Encyclia cochleata. I think I really like this orchid too much. Now this one has been laying down basically a web of new roots. It's going wild with these new roots, green growth tips. I mean, look at that. Those white roots are all completely new. Now, what I can say to this damn Encyclia cochleata though is, hey, you see those little things there? They need to turn into new pseudobulbs, Encyclia. Come on. Why aren't you doing it? And it's like, I don't want to. I'm putting down roots. I'm like, okay, that's fine and good, but also grow me a new pseudobulb. Please, please. I don't know if bargaining with your orchids does any good, but I like to try. Next we have this other eBay purchase that I got. It's not doing anything, so. And then we have the Sophrolalia Cattleya Hawaiian Lightning cross Sophrolalia Cattleya Sugar Bear, and this is one that my Orchid Society gave us, and these two, one and the next one over, two pseudobulbs are doing very well. They're leafing out, they're getting nice and big, so that's exciting, and it's laid down a lot of roots. I'm happy. I wish it would lay down more roots, but these pseudobulbs are doing really well. Next, let's do Brassavola nodosa. What's up? So this moss ball mount is really successful. This plant clearly loves it. Loves to be in the window. It has kind of a purpling leaf here, if you can see that. It was a sunburn, but I think this plant likes to get a little bit sunburned. And we have, look, more new growths. We've got this new growth and this new growth. Do you see those? So we've got 4, now 5 and 6 new growths coming out of this plant this year. This is a really good plant, grows like a weed, and I don't live in that hot of a climate, but look how well it's doing for me. Next we've got yellow no ID fowl. This one is growing new leaves in a very weird way. You can like look down and see another new leaf in there. That's weird, but it's getting a new root tip here and there, so hopefully it'll tie itself down to the mount. We've got Sideria japonica, who is not doing anything. I know that I'm like a broken record with this. I think some orchids are entering their dormancy. We've got my Nellie Eiler that had accordioned leaves, but it doesn't have them anymore. Well, I mean, they're growing out healthfully. So this one is like 3 plants put together basically. The first 2 you see here are one plant that broke apart, and then my plant that I thought was healthy actually had all dead roots. So I decided to put it on the mount too because I seem to do better at not killing roots on mounted orchids. Next we've got my no ID. This could be Oncidium Rosy Sunset, but it's too white for that. It's on a mount and it has new healthy little roots. It's starting to kind of take over, so look at that. That's what I like to see. But also it has a browning pseudobulb. I don't know, it doesn't seem like a rot problem. It seems like just it's given up on life, so I'm not going to worry about that. Next we have this orchid that's doing really well. This is Oncidium Heaven Sent Redolence. Here's its new growth, getting nice and big, hopefully also getting a fat pseudobulb here soon. And we've got all these roots laying down. They haven't glued themselves onto the mount yet, but they're getting there. And this is just making me so happy. So happy. Okay, and finally, I guess we're on the last leg. We've got my 2 Dendrobium phalaenopsis orchids. This one is the green one with the purple lip, and this one is the all purple one. Now the green one with the purple lip has this lovely new growth coming here. Let's focus camera. Yes, isn't that looking great? And I'm suspecting that this little bump here will also become a new growth, but I'm not holding my breath over it. And I just noticed before I made this video that this plant is laying down some major roots right in here, so that's exciting to see. And this plant doesn't seem to be laying down many roots, but it does have a new growth coming as well. I love seeing orchids that are in the same, what is it, the same genus and the same kind growing together at the same rate. It's really nice, and it's kind of like they're having a little race to see who wins. But yeah, so those are all my orchids. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's back out. Let's finish out on some flowers. So, happy July, happy orchid tour, and happy growing. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tour. Let me know if you prefer it being in one big 20-minute video, or if you prefer it to be in just 2 separate videos like this, because I think 10 minutes is a good time limit. But I also know you freaky garden people love to just sit and watch like a half-hour video. You guys have so much more dedication than other kinds of YouTubers. Okay, thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful day and happy growing. Bye.